What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Queen, and I'm back with another video. So today we're gonna talk about Sebastian's family dynamic. Okay, we need to figure out what was actually going on inside the family. That'll give us a better idea about Sebastian himself. And is the dynamic of the family the reason why he's missing. So Sebastian was born to mom Katie, dad Seth. They was together when they made Sebastian. When they broke up, she and the new husband, Chris, moved to Hendersonville, Tennessee. Okay? And Seth ended up in Hendersonville as well. I don't know if he followed because of his son, but they all ended up here. Now, previously, they all was in another city and state. When Seth and Katie was together, when Sebastian was a little boy, he was a baby, Katie enlisted in the military, which left Seth with Sebastian. So Seth was working and caring for him while Katie was in the military. Now, I'm not one to judge. It takes a strong person to leave their small child for long periods of time. I know I couldn't do it, especially as a baby. But some people can. Now, Chris said once in an interview that him and Seth talked every day. They had a good relationship. I beg to differ with that. Having small to no communication once Sebastian went missing. So I don't know about that, if that's really not from what I see. Okay. So we have Katie the mom, Chris the stepdad, and we have Seth the biological father. So you have all these three people inside of Sebastian's life. Okay. Katie and Seth was together first. There's a reason why they separated. Divorced. She met Chris. They're married. And that's the family dynamic. Now Chris, let me talk to you a little bit more about Chris. Chris has been married a few times. One of his exes, Nina Gomez, has came out on YouTube and told about her and Chris' relationship. She said he's crazy as hell. He's abused her children, tricked her to come to Tennessee, tried to take their daughter. Chris, yes, has a child, biologically, one daughter. She said Chris is controlling. He's a narcissist. She is now safe and back in Mexico, but they are still battling in court over the daughter. Chris wants the daughter to move there with Katie. Nina wants her daughter with her. So that's a whole debacle in itself. So that's drama inside of the family. So this is the dynamic that that baby Sebastian is dealing with. So Seth sees Sebastian on weekends, summers, so he's a present, important role in his life. So before Sebastian went missing, he was said to be moving and starting to live with his biological father. Okay? Which is Seth. So it's to be said he loves going to his dad's. He fishes. He spends time with his father. Seth even came out and said Sebastian expressed to him that he didn't even want to go home. My question is, why didn't Sebastian want to go home? What was going on in the house that made Sebastian tell his father he didn't want to go home? So Seth stated that he asked Sebastian, why don't you want to go home? And he didn't tell him why he didn't want to go home. So Seth just said he chalked it up as they're a little more strict, he's lenient over there, so he chalked it up to teenager behavior. So Katie and Sebastian, they spend a lot of time together because he mainly lives with Katie and Chris. Another reason that he spends a lot of time with his mom because he has no friends. He goes to school and home, home and school. That was his life. All his outings were with his mom. No friends, nothing. He wanted friends for Christmas. Imagine that. You're so lonely. Nobody else to talk to but your mother. Nobody else you can relate to. Go to the movies, go out to play, park, swimming, etc. To be a young boy, but your mother. That's all you have. School teachers, like I said before, stated, he was a smart boy. Chris stated he was having problems in school. He couldn't stay out of other people's face and space. And he was having all these issues at school. But the teachers that came out didn't address none of that. So being that he was invading people's space, Chris said that, he was punished for those things. So Chris admitted that he had hit him, spanked Sebastian once. But I believe he whooped him more than that. Sebastian reported Chris to a teacher, and a teacher called CPS. Yep. So, this is his family. This is his family. Sebastian reported Chris to CPS. CPS was at the door. So, you have physical abuse, emotional abuse, because all he has is his mother. He has no other individual to spend time with. Also, there's believed to be SA in the family. Before he moved to Hendersonville, Tennessee, Sebastian was SA'd by an individual. So he's been hurt. This is the family dynamic. Also, there's allegations against Seth for some type of abuse when he was with Katie. So with biological dad on that side, there was alleged abuse. On his stepdad's side with his mom, there's alleged physical. Well, Chris admitted to it, so it was physical abuse. And then Katie admitted that Sebastian was SA, so you have SA abuse. So you have this 15-year-old autistic boy that's dealt with physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. 15. Autistic. How do you think he can swallow that, internalize that, deal with that, and not act out, and not have problems? Then you're isolated in the house with your mother. Think about that. This family dynamic is quite peculiar. Now, there are a lot of dysfunctional families out there. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of them. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of secrets. There's abuse out there in families. SA abuse, physical, emotional abuse. And a lot of times when you have kids going missing, you will have CPS reports, all type of issues inside the family when kids go missing. That's things that come out because there's problems inside the home. There's problems in the family. There's dysfunction. And it's not safe. It's just not safe when you have all those things together. Now, you can tell that Katie and Seth doesn't have a so great co-parenting relationship. You can see it, how Seth talk, Katie talk. You can see that they don't have the best co-parenting relationship. Now, if Sebastian was set to move with Seth, I want to know why. Was him being at home becoming too much? Or did Sebastian not want to be there? Was Sebastian not wanted at home? Now, it's alleged that Chris wasn't allowed to be in the home with Sebastian. That he will be in Memphis working for most of his time anyway. And then he would come home allegedly on the weekends. Because of the abuse and the CPS. Now, how is that going to work? With a wife, a husband, and a child, and they can't be really around each other like that, allegedly, due to physical abuse. So, was he not wanted at home due to that? Or did Sebastian not want to be there? That's a valid question on the dynamic in his main home. And I want to know, is that one of the reasons he became missing? It's because he was about to go with his daddy. Sebastian had to be lonely. That's a lonely life for a young 15-year-old boy. You play outside by yourself. And then it makes you think, what about his birthday parties? Did he have birthday parties? And if he had birthday parties, who was it? Just his mom, dad, stepdad? Mom, stepdad? Seth and him? I mean, what was Sebastian's quality of life? It sounds so sad. Very, very sad. Now, it was said that he did a lot of activities with his father. Outside activities, fishing, outdoors, stuff boys need to know and do with their fathers. And he seems to have a better relationship with Seth, his biological dad. He seems to have done more things with Seth than Chris. And also out on YouTube, their interviews, Katie and Chris, are saying things that isn't so positive about Sebastian, which lets us know in the dynamic of the family, they had issues with Sebastian. They had issues with that boy. Katie is even known not to like to take photos with him because he looks goofy. Who doesn't want to take photos with their kid because they look goofy? I mean, I've never heard of that, but okay. By the way, I've only seen one photo of her and Sebastian. Only one. If there's more, y'all let me know in the comment section. But Katie has a lot of happy photos with Chris. She has a lot of happy photos with their dogs. So it shows a disconnection in this dynamic between Katie and Sebastian. There's a big disconnection between them. There's a big disconnection with Sebastian and Chris. So imagine living in a home with a mom and stepdad who is disconnected from you emotionally, physically. And you're autistic, so you're not able to even internalize what the hell is going on. And is this the reason that Sebastian is gone? Is this the reason? It's also stated by both sides of the family. You know, it's been reported to teachers all around on both sides of the family. Abuse. Abuse, abuse, abuse. When you hear about all this abuse allegations, there's some truth behind it. I don't know who the culprits are. I don't know who it was another boy said to have hurt Sebastian. Chris has admitted to hitting Sebastian, so there's the physical right there with Chris. It's a lot of nonsense going on. It's a lot. And Sebastian had to be in pain. Emotional, physical, just pain. And like I said, is this the family dynamic? The reason he's missing. This is a crazy dynamic. It's not unheard of, but it's wild. And this is the dynamic that Sebastian Rogers was living in before he went missing, February the 25th of 2024.